How much do you know about K-food? How much hanchik have you eaten? We invite you into the world of Korean food, of course, including the history and culture of it. We'll introduce trendy foods and famous restaurants on Dish of the Day with Chef Ryan Phillips. That's right, usually it is K-food, it is hanchik, but from time to time, thanks to the global nature of Chef Ryan, we will shine a spotlight on perhaps American food like today, or sometimes Brazilian stuff. Other international locations are available as well, and you look hard at work in the kitchen, Ryan.
Actually, I was really busy until just about 10 minutes ago. But now I've got a little bit of time to spend with you guys. How's it going?
Fantastic. Yes, very well. How many turkeys have you got going out today then?
Oh, not that many today. Today's more about prep. I am about to do about 10 of these.
Celery?
Yeah. We need, for stuffing or dressing, you need a lot of celery. And boy, do I have a lot of stuffing going out. I think, what was the count? I have to look back at my sheet. It's somewhere around 40.
40. Wow.
And each one is for 12 people. So
that's a lot of stuffing. And the celery, it isn't too common in Korean cuisine, right?
Right. Yeah. It's easy to find these days. Yeah. But it's not one of the classic Korean kind of vegetables at all.
Yeah. And so
it's kind of, it is kind of in like a little gray area between there, because it's not as odd as, say, like cilantro, right? Cilantro, you kind of have to go to a specialty place to find it, or just be lucky. But pretty much any supermarket here does have celery. Yeah. But occasionally they might be out, or the price might get really, really high. Anyway.
Yeah, and then I don't know where you would put it in Korean cuisine, right? It's not a native thing or a traditional thing for sure. My mum likes to put it in a chicken soup, and I don't know, it's got that kind of pop to it, which, I don't really love. So I would rather take it out. But my wife and my son love just eating it raw and dipping it in some sour cream or something like that. I didn't know it was an essential part of stuffing.
Yes, it is. And when I grew up, I didn't really notice it that much in this stuff. No, maybe I did. I mean, a lot of people, when they do stuffing or dressing, it's made from a box, and it's just kind of mush. What I do for folks here, and what I've fallen in love with doing this, and how many years in a row have we done this now, Peter, on this week?
Yeah, it must be.
It's quite a few.
At least 3 in a row. And then if we take out the time that wasn't in a row, I think in total we've done it at least 5-6 times, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't recall celery ever. Maybe we're just lucky that you're doing the celery now, and so it's being mentioned.
Well, we used to have the show on Thursdays, and that's actual Thanksgiving Day. Since it's Tuesday, it's prep day, baby. I don't have as many orders going out, but if I don't get my ducks in a row today, tomorrow's fairly light too, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, boy, oh boy, if I don't have everything prepped properly, then I'll get into big trouble, because I actually stopped. I stopped taking orders last week because I got enough. Yeah. I got enough. I don't want to, if I were to take on too many orders and then screw up, I would just kick myself, for spread myself too thin.
Absolutely. So. Quality control and whatnot. Before we jump into the real meat and bones, pun intended, hashtag today is 회식, or work get together. When's the last time you attended like an arirang 회식 or work get together?
Oh man, that was maybe back in the Edwin days.
Wow,
Yeah.
maybe
Nobody's
10
ever
years
invited
ago.
me.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever invited me.
Yeah, I think Daily K has been pretty bad at having hueshicks. Like, we just attend the Arirang Radio, like, Chonche hueshik, the whole team hueshik, and that's mainly just for writers and hosts and things like that. So it's my
Yeah.
fault, Ryan. I do apologize. I've always had the dream of saying, okay, I'm paying for it. We're going down to Chef Ryan's farm, the whole Daily K team. Let's do it. And then I've never gotten around to it, and I do apologize for that. But let's do it. Have you got any good memories of Hershey? It's all bad ones.
Yes, I got a great memory. When we wrapped the Cooking Possible cooking show years ago,
Yeah.
and Sam Hamilton was on that,
Mm.
and another Sam from Ghana, and well, it's just the whole team. Even some of the judges that came in joined us over in Hongdae for a dinner, and that was a lot of fun. It was very mixed culturally. The
Yeah.
folks from all over the world, and it was just a good time where we didn't have to think about makeup or the
Yes.
camera or
Let your hair
and just
down.
hang out. Yeah, of course, Sam's so famous. Sam Hamilton's so famous that people kept coming up and wanting to take a picture with him, and he was so gracious and good at it. He
Oh.
as we walked across Hongdae too.
Oh, that's nice. What
Um,
did you eat? Did you have K barbecue?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we did. I remember the good times, but I don't exactly remember the food that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely barbecue at the table of some kind. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's what we were saying. And some people saying, if I don't like alcohol and I don't like K barbecue, will I be able to enjoy a hueshik? And I had to be quite honest that, yeah, your average hueshik will probably involve both of those things. So you might not have the best time. So Thursday, coming up, day after tomorrow, American Thanksgiving Day, local time, of course. Where do you want to start today?
Boy, I could show you guys. I got one turkey in the smoker right now. The
Ooh,
others just came out and got boxed up, and they
okay.
are in a truck on their way to Seoul.
Oh, nice. You've sent them
Um,
out.
yeah, a huge order just went out, and it's a customer up in Uljiro, up
Uh-huh.
north of you. And it'll take a little bit of weather today. It's rainy, and it was actually when I got here at 4:30 this morning.
Yeah.
There was lightning and thunder and a thick fog on
Oh,
the
my
way here,
goodness.
and then it's been raining since. So hopefully he'll make the delivery time before noon, because this customer has ordered from us for Thanksgiving, I think 4 years in a row, and he
Wow.
he he gets so excited about it. He's a Korean guy who lived in America for a while, and he gets so excited about this traditional food every year, and he shares it with all of his staff at
Oh,
his office up in Ujiro, and I have been there delivering myself, and he's always upset that I'm not doing that now, but I got to be in the
oh.
kitchen getting ready. Um, but yeah, shared it with his staff who maybe haven't ever had some of this stuff for before, and I just try to, since he's so excited about it, you know, and I'm sure he's talking it up to his staff.
Yeah.
That's a lot of responsibility, you know, and
It's all
yeah,
on
and
you.
this one the same thing, when you invite friends or family over and you've chosen who to order from, there's other options.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody puts as much care and attention into things as I'm doing here, at least in Korea. But yeah, man, I love this. I have become the Thanksgiving guy to many people
So with your
here.
deliveries, do people potentially, if it's being delivered like that straight after it's coming out of the smoker, can they just open it up and eat it straight away? They don't need to like reheat it or anything.
Right. Yeah. That's what people need. I, as much as I hate to use styrofoam,
Mm.
not the greatest thing that we've created. Um, it keeps that stuff hot, and then other things cold, like the pies and the Madagascar vanilla whipped cream
Oh.
and the bourbon spike cranberry sauce. those things have to stay cold. If cranberry sauce gets too warm, the gelatin will just go liquid, and
Oh,
nobody wants that. Nobody wants
no.
to open up their cranberry sauce and it's just like juice.
I've never had it. I've never enjoyed it, but I could
Oh,
assume it
really?
would be like if mint jelly was like juice, that would
Yeah,
make me incredibly
same
cross.
thing.
So you got
Same
to
thing.
worry about the things that need to stay warm and then the things that need to stay cold at the same time. Well, before our first song
Yeah.
break, just
Yeah.
for me and many of our listeners who have been saying, I've never had a Thanksgiving meal, I've never celebrated Thanksgiving. What
Oh, okay.
is it and what is the vibe? Like, so I've heard many times, wasn't it like some of the first people who were in from Plymouth in the UK that had gone over to colonize America, and then some native Americans as well, like sharing a harvest festival kind of meal or something?
Right. Yeah, you're gonna make me a spokesperson for history of Thanksgiving. I don't know if I'm qualified, but the story that we used to be taught as kids
Mm,
is a beautiful story. How true it is, I don't know.
yeah.
But the Native Americans were kind of saved the pilgrims,
Uh-huh.
that were struggling in this new environment, and the Native Americans came over and showed them how to plant things and how to grow
Mm,
things and how to fish and how to do things in their environment. And then when it came to harvest time, just like Chuseok is the harvest festival here, Thanksgiving is a harvest festival in America.
mm.
It's a time when you have an abundance and you enjoy that, before you're going to have to, hunker down for the winter, and you won't necessarily have an abundance for a while. So, um, yeah, it's tr- from the history of it, it has a nice kind of story to it.
Yeah, it goes back
Yeah.
to the 1600s if you're taking that as the story. And it's what, the fourth Thursday of November each and every year for the US. And then for Canada, it's the second Monday of October. So they had it way back when, it seems. Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm assuming there's similar origins to it, or maybe different. I don't know. I don't know the Canadian story and what
I think it.
stories
I
they're
think it
told.
just gets so much. It gets colder so much earlier in Canada. They got to do it a month earlier
That
because
would
that would
make
be the harvest
sense.
time. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it on the internet and it says it dates to even earlier from like the late 1500s
Oh, okay.
from an English explorer there. So we'll get
Oh, cool.
into all your cooking and get to see the food and things like this in parts 2 and 3. To get us to the next bit, it's Stray Kids with Holiday. And we're back for part 2, Dish of the Day with Chef Ryan, and we're doing our Thanksgiving special, which we do pretty much on an annual basis here. Many of you getting in touch. Matahari saying, I love roasting off the turkey liver and gizzard to add to my stuffing. We usually just munch on the wings as well. Does some of the turkey go into the stuffing then?
Well, the stock, and yeah, you don't waste anything, man. So for stuffing, what you need is onions and celery and some great herbs. I've got a farm, so this is really something special here. Check this one out.
Oh, what have you grown?
I've grown so much this year that I didn't have to buy any.
What is it?
This is time. Then this one is already chopped up, but oh my lord,
Do
that
you
is
dry
all
it as well then?
sage. No, 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 it's not
Oh,
dried. It's fresh. This is
wow.
all sage chopped up, and it's amazing, man. It's
Wow.
really something. So, um, we we've got when you grow your own herbs too. Anybody that does it knows that the flavor is much better than anything you can buy. And so, um, with the rosemary, the parsley, the sage, the thyme, all four of those, I harvested uh, last Friday, and then again on Sunday, and we have enough to get through the entire Thanksgiving. We really managed to grow an abundance this year. So
Wow. If you pick
it's
that
exciting.
off, how long do you have until you have to use it? I would have assumed you'd have to dry it or something.
Well, parsley would be the first one to go because
Hmm.
it's really light. It'll last longer than say cilantro would.
Hmm.
Then when you're talking about thyme and rosemary, they last quite a long time in the fridge if you need them to. Of course, the
Oh,
quality will suffer a little bit, and
yeah.
sage is the same way. Something really nice about sage, though, because it's such a dry kind of desert plant, you can freeze it, and
Oh,
then when you thaw it out, it's the same. It's the same thing.
oh,
Yeah, it
wow.
doesn't. Most vegetables or herbs, when you freeze them, they're going to water out, and
Yeah.
you'll end up with a mush when they thaw, but not sage.
Oh, that's a good tip as well. Ingyin
Yeah.
from Malaysia says, I don't enjoy celery on its own, as Lilith said as well, but how I wish I had some now to add to my shakshuka that I'm making. I've been to some Thanksgiving food reviews at hotels. The turkey is sometimes too dry or undercooked. And that's what puts me off, and I think many people off. It's just such a big bird that you're like, no, I'm going to get it wrong. You know, you're doing this maybe once a year as well.
Yeah, I've had customers over the years tell me that they went to a different party and they had ordered from
Mm.
uh another place, and uh they then come running back to me the next year. Uh yeah, man, turkey, I never really cared about it growing up. And love my mother and grandmother very much, but they would or the family they would cook that bird until that there's a little in America there's a little red gadget that's
Yeah,
stuck in the bird, and when the bird's done it pops.
yeah.
But that little gadget was designed by insurance companies to cover liability,
Uh-huh.
because they didn't want anybody to get sick
Yeah.
from an undercooked bird, right? So it goes too far,
Okay.
because if that little thing went ding and somebody ate and got sick, they would be
Yeah.
able to sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Anyway, turkey does not have to be cooked as much as chicken.
Oh.
Duck, and turkey and other fowl, um, they're different. They do not have to be taken to 69 degrees centigrade. Um, I still take them almost there, but I'm really careful with it. I have this really cool gadget that my folks gave me years ago. It's a Bluetooth thermometer,
Yeah.
and it is in the bird right now, and I'm
Oh.
monitoring, and it sends me an alert when it gets to a certain. It tells me the smoker temperature. My smokers. I built this thing years and years ago, and it does a lot of work. I can get one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. I can get 12 turkeys in here easily. If I
Wow.
had to do more, I probably could. But I
Amazing.
like having a lot of space between them so they get lots of smoke around them and good airflow.
Oh, so that's not what your regular person is doing. They're just throwing it in a regular oven, right? And cooking it.
Right. And then also what I've been doing only here in Korea. I never did this back in the States. I did it once and I fell in love with it. It's a 5-day brine. And that brine consists of some of it is what I'm trimming off the celery.
Uh-huh.
I'm not throwing this away. This I'm gonna make a stock with, and add some other things, and apples and onion, and
Ooh.
some herbs as well, and the birds sit in that for 5 days
Uh-huh.
before they ever go into the smoker, and that's the magic. Then people start sending me messages saying, "I've never had turkey this good in America. Why did I have to come to Korea to get turkey so good?" Yeah.
Wow, 5 days. You just putting that in the fridge then?
Yes, sir. Or in coolers with ice,
Uh-huh.
and just monitoring them every day, making sure the ice isn't melting too much.
Yeah, but turkey here is so hard to find. Like, as in you won't just come across it unless you're trying to search out. I think in some theme parks they have a big smoked turkey leg. I've seen that. And when I went to Japan as well, it seemed to be a thing because you get a lot more meat, I assume. But it's not like a regular ingredient at all in Korea.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know where they're getting those turkey legs. I have not been able to find that source. I've always been curious. But every year is different. We never know exactly if we're going to have turkeys or not. That was my life last week. Last week was the stress of sourcing turkeys.
Did you manage to get enough?
Yes. Actually, I have a few extra, and those will go for the Christmas menu. And I'll try to get some more, but also, making these hams that take about 3 weeks to make, cured and then dry aged and then smoked hams. So people have an alternative. And then we also do roast beef and roast lamb. Not doing the British mint jelly though this year.
Why not?
I usually do, but last year I made a lot of it, and then only like 3 people wanted it.
Oh, I think it might be because it's more readily available in Korea nowadays, like for a cheap price, like the kind of factory produced stuff. Yeah.
Well, sure enough, only one person asked, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but we definitely do horseradish sour cream, and we grew our own horseradish this year, and it is really something, man. If you've never had fresh horseradish grated into anything, it's a lot like wasabi. It's incredibly powerful and delicious. Really, really delicious.
I do want to try that because I do like a fresh, like gochujang, as we would say in the pure Korean for that as well. When you grate that up, it's so different for the things in the tubes. So how did you get your turkeys this year? And why isn't it the same sauce every year?
Well, with help from friends, basically. It's super challenging. I would not have been able to do any of this. I had taken orders because I was expecting that the big box store would have plenty of birds.
Yeah.
For some silly reason, they just had a really light inventory. They ran out before like the 3rd of November.
Oh my goodness.
Out. And they only had enough to sell for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Maybe some folks ran in there and bought them all because I've seen them being resold online for about 40% more or something.
Oh,
but
yeah.
So
you managed to get yours, and so CT's asking, I'm curious, are the turkey orders from expats or local Koreans? What percentage would you say are from Korean people? And if they're Korean, are they people who've lived abroad?
Well, for years I would tell you that the bread and butter were the folks that had lived abroad and then came back. But now maybe 40 or 50% are U.S. military. My kitchen's only 30 minutes from Osan Air Base, and then Camp Humphreys is only about 15 minutes more south. Wow. So, and the dollar is very strong. So my prices maybe don't seem as high to them. My prices are very high. One smoked turkey, Brian, for 5 days. And then smoked over local apple and hickory. And then sage butter brushed is 265,000 won.
Wow.
And today in dollars, that's got to be only like $190 or $180, something like that, I'm guessing.
Well, that's enough for 12 people, is it?
Absolutely. These birds are 6 kilos at least, but most of them come in at 6.5 or more. Wow. But what I guarantee is that they're at least 6 kilos.
Oh, nice. So, okay, we'll get to a song break. If there's anything you want to show us during the song break, you can, or afterwards, Ryan, as well. And then we can talk some more. This is ATs with Waiting for You. And we got to see a lot of what was inside Chef Ryan's kitchen. Hope you're watching the video stream to get the full, payoff from this. Dish of the day with Chef Ryan linking up with him from his kitchen. Luckily, not too busy today because Thursday is Thanksgiving Day, although some birds have flown out of his kitchen this morning. Matahari also sent in an amazing photo of what looks like a delicious turkey, saying it was my first attempt of cooking a turkey all on my own. I used fresh herb compound butter under the skin. Oh, you meant to put things under the skin. Is that not really tricky?
That's lovely. Nah, well, I mean, that's a level above. That's proper. Way to go, Mata.
I think she's worked in a kitchen before, so for your average Joe or Peter Bind doing a turkey for the first time, I'm assuming I don't need to go that far.
You could do it. I've done it with chickens before, but I don't think I've ever done that with a turkey.
Yeah. Oh,
But
really?
yeah,
Is it not necessarily a common thing to do, even for chefs, for turkeys?
I don't know how common it would be. Have you ever heard of a turducken?
The one with the bird in the bird in the bird in the bird.
Yeah. I did one of those maybe 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's got a chicken and a duck and a turkey.
Wow.
And there's sausage in the chicken.
I can only imagine it's going to be harder to get really nice for all the meats.
Yeah, that's the tricky bit, because time and temperature, and the crazy thing is the chicken's on the inside, but it's the one that has to cook to the highest temperature.
Oh.
So that's terrible, right?
Yeah.
That's like backwards. Yeah.
You don't cook it separately and then stuff it in.
Well, that's the question. I was like, man, what if I did that? But then I don't know. I don't remember exactly what I did. But you debone the chicken and you debone the duck and the turkey. It came out really pretty. I don't know that it was worth all the work. It's just kind of a fun idea,
Yeah.
Crazy fun idea.
Rising asking, do you have a website where you can submit orders usually each year? Of course, you're finished for this year, but is it via Facebook?
I actually, old school style, I ask people to leave me their number and they can do it in a message.
Uh-huh.
I talk to everyone personally.
Okay.
I like to actually call them back.
Yeah.
Because this is a big deal. It's a family or friend gathering. It's a special time. They're spending a lot of money, as well. And the learning curve. Some folks that are ordering from me know all about Thanksgiving, but a lot of people that are ordering have no idea. They don't know how many people a bird might feed or a ham, or any of that stuff. And so by having a voice conversation in 2025, by having a voice conversation with folks, I can really tell, what their expectations are, and I can help manage that and possibly foresee any issues they might have or misconceptions they might have, so I can just take better care of them. So most everybody, when they order from me the first time, I ask them for a phone number and a time to call them back.
Yeah.
And we have a short conversation about what they're trying to do.
And they can find you like Barefoot Gardens. Is that the best way?
That's right. Yeah. Insta and Facebook are probably the best ways still. But yeah, just send me a message and I'm happy to talk to you.
What was the thing you showed us directly below the camera? It looked like, I don't know, like brown, yellow, I don't know, red rolls or something like that. I don't know what it was.
Probably behind me over here. I have a special order. It's not on my usual menu. For sweet potato pie and sweet potato casserole.
Casserole.
Yeah. So it's just people have their family traditions. They go back their entire lives, and so I tell them, hey, let me know if you've got something. I make a lot of mac and cheese, but it's the best mac and cheese you ever had. It's all from scratch.
Oh.
Everything is from scratch or from the farm before scratch.
Oh, wow. Pre-scratch.
Yeah. No canned green beans. What I call my green beans are no canned green beans. Because canned green beans are gross. Why would anybody want to eat that mess? That mushy mess. I want a little bit of crunch.
Yeah,
I
they
want some
lose
texture.
a lot of their flavor in there. So you growing green beans as well on the farm?
Yeah, I can't. Sadly, I can't grow enough for all of this. I mean, we're talking. I'm going through 40 kilos of green beans, but yeah,
Wow.
actually a little more than 40 kilos.
And you can
Yeah.
find those fresh to buy in Korea?
Yes. Yeah, you can. You just have to order them way in advance.
Oh.
But yeah, that's what we do.
Uh,
That's what we do.
do you?
And the bits of ham that I make, I put that into the green beans, so you get that kind of traditional. At least what I grew up having with my green beans is like a little bit of ham
Oh
in
my
there.
God, this sounds so good. I'm getting so hungry. So do you have any pumpkin pies as well on the go? Right.
So many.
Can we see any of them?
I'm gonna die. Um,
Is it
yeah,
tricky?
I'll grab one. I'll grab one.
Sorry. Because,
That's
yeah,
okay.
people are so interested in, and Taylor's saying the sweet potato casserole, that is the best. And sweet potatoes are love, saying Siska. And Taylor saying, how many marshmallows you putting on the casserole? Oh, so here's the pumpkin pie. Ryan's unveiling it. Oh,
Oh,
wow, that looks so good. I've only,
totally from scratch. The pie itself isn't that tough. It's that crust. It's doing that crust the way
oh,
my dad taught me and the way his mom taught him, and that's by hand with frozen butter and flour
oh my
and just a
goodness.
little bit of ice water until it
Oh,
comes together, and you get this amazing crust. A little bit of salt and sugar in there too,
that looked
and
fantastic.
but
No,
it takes a lot of work to make 45 pies. uh
God. And you're
yeah,
doing that all yourself, just by yourself?
I chose to do that again this year. I've hired help in some years, but it's really humbling. It's really, it feels good to know the quality of everything yourself.
Wow.
um yeah, I do. I should say I do have a little bit of help, here and there. Last week I had so much fun. There's a service you can call just about anywhere in Korea and ask for a 1 day, usually an older woman,
Yeah.
but a 1 day worker to
Yeah.
come, and
Really?
they get a little more than the minimum wage.
Yeah.
And last week, a woman came, not so much to help with Thanksgiving, but to help take the stems off of a ton of peppers that we harvested. I was too busy prepping for Thanksgiving
Yeah.
meals going out over the weekend. And I didn't want these peppers sitting around and getting soft. I needed to get them processed. And to do that, you got to take the stems off of each one.
Yeah.
And it would have taken me probably 8 hours to do all of this.
Wow.
And this lovely woman who's, you know, probably almost 80 years old, came here at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
and worked her butt off. It was amazing. She was so sweet. And she was real quiet at first, but then
Yeah.
once we got talking, she was just talk, and she had kind of a Daegu accent where it
Yeah.
kind of sounded like singing a little bit
Oh.
when talking. It was like a lot of just sweet as can be. And then we go over and have lunch together with the panchankage, the side dish store
Yeah.
neighbors, and I, she's supposed to take an hour for lunch, and I kept telling her, I was like, no, just relax. You want a coffee?
Yeah.
Anything? She wanted to get back to work, and she
Wow.
finished them all in less time it would have taken me to do it,
Amazing.
and wanted more work. And I'm like,
Wow.
I'm feeling guilty here. Quit it. But she was just so awesome. She's so awesome.
That's
So
good.
I
Good
I did
work
have a
ethic.
little backup anyway, and it was
Okay.
a wonderful experience.
I think we can forgive you for that, Ryan. You're making so many people's Thanksgiving special occasion this year, as you do each year.
Hope so.
We didn't even get to mention, like, what, mashed potatoes, gravy, those are all the key elements, but we've seen it before and talked about it before. So good luck with
Yeah.
the rest of your prep, Ryan, and we'll see you
Thanks.
again in the studio next Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Thanks for letting me do this again this year from the kitchen. It really helped me out a lot. I hope y'all enjoyed this today. Have a good one. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.